Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian. I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. I hope that everybody has had a fantastic week, and I hope that you're all looking forward to a great weekend. Happy Easter weekend to those of you who are celebrating Easter weekend around the world. Students, this is a members chat class. So to join the chat, you need to be a member of our YouTube channel. There are 4 different levels of membership. If you're doing the IELTS exam, it's a really good idea to become a member at some level on our channel. If you're not a member, that's okay. You can watch, and lots of learning to be had. We will have an all chat class coming up in 90 minutes where subscribers will be able to join our chat. So you still need to subscribe. That will be for speaking part 2 in about 90 minutes. But in this class, everyone, we are looking at IELTS reading, and we're looking at strategies and practicing for that band 9 score, which is quite tricky because a band 9, and a lot of people may or may not know this, is 39 to 40 out of 40. So you have to get almost a perfect mark. You can get 1 wrong out of 40 questions. Ooh, tricky. But it's possible. I sat the IELTS exam. I got a band 9, so it is possible to get that perfect score. And this reading that we will look at today is about the Aral C. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment. We've got lots of members joining in. We've got our chat moderator, Carolina. Hi, Carolina. Again, Carolina, thank you for our new schedule. It looks fantastic. Good job on that. Fatma, Pooja, nice to see more members joining in on the class. That's awesome. Again, students, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com. For academic IELTS, that's where you want to go. For the general IELTS, you want to visit us at gieltshelp.com. On both of our websites, we have so much help for you. This is our academic IELTS website here. You can click that big red button right there to join our premium IELTS package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access, and you can see that we're an official British Council test registration center. I'm actually a certified British Council agent myself. When you click the Join Now button, you can use this discount code ULTIMATE9 to get a 25% discount off of the regular price, which isn't actually much at all. And then the general IELTS for gieltshelp.com for those general IELTS candidates that are looking for immigration and other such visas. It's the green background. Click that big red button there. I'm getting better. I know a couple of you are asking me how I'm feeling today. I'm getting better. I'm still not perfect. You can hear my voice a bit. So I will be getting your help today, members, to do this reading with me, okay? And it'll be great practice for you to read. And we'll go through the passage and the questions and talk strategy. So that's coming up in just a moment. Again, use that code ULTIMATE9 for that 25% discount. Get our apps, definitely. It's great to have on your phone. We've been getting lots of 5-star ratings for those apps. That's really nice. Academic IELTS Help, General IELTS Help, they link to the websites. So you can use the app and the website together. Instagram, IELTS_AEHelp and GIELTS Help. And then everyone, if you have questions, if something's not clear, if you need help with any of our products or you need help with the IELTS, just send us an email. Email is adrian@aehelp.com. All right. Again, just still updating on this because it's fairly fresh. Our schedule now is 3 days a week. Classes are Thursdays, Saturday, or Fridays, Saturdays. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 classes, 90 minutes each. Today we'll do some volunteering for reading, everyone. That's going to be fun. Let's jump over to our exam book and get into some reading. So yeah, I know it's, we've always got this little preamble, but it also gives time for lots of people to join in, and we've got lots of our members and our viewers with us now, which is fantastic. It's awesome again to have all of you here. So here we have our passage for the day. Here's the title. The Aral Sea is gone, reasons and impacts. Okay, so what I'm going to do, members, is I'm going to reach out to people right away, and we're going to do this kind of as a workshop, as like a group activity today from start to finish. Okay, so getting a band 9, again, it's not about skimming and scanning. It's not going to get you a band 9. In fact, it's going to give you a headache. So let's not do that. I already had a headache the past few days from being sick, so I don't want to get another headache from doing lots of skimming and scanning. It's a useless, well, almost useless strategy. It has some use, little use, some use. But you have to read, okay? To get high band scores, you have to read. It's the right way to do it. And of course, if you're going to live in an English-speaking country or study, especially if you're going to go to university in an English-speaking country, you have to read. You have to read well, okay? All right, so I'm going to actually reach out to some of our viewers. Hopefully our members will be volunteering. And then we will read this together with our members. We'll discuss it. We'll discuss strategies. We'll answer the questions with our members. So to volunteer, members, what you need to do is you need to go to our website, aehelp.com. Let me actually do this in this way. So members, go to the website, aehelp.com. Okay, register an account and then log in. So go to the My Student account, okay, and then go to Student Partner Speaking. That's this button right here. So click on Student Partner Speaking, and we're just going to go through step by step. So I will ask for different volunteers, and I will ask you different questions. It'll be a great way to practice your English speaking as well. And you're going to help save my voice also. So please do this. Okay. So let's go to Student Partner Speaking. And then I'll take volunteers to kind of practice. I can see Carolina, our chat moderator's in here. Carolina, do you want to help me just discuss the title of this passage? So just go over the title with me and show students how to kind of approach this, since you're the first one in here. Here, let me message you, okay? So would you like to help me show students the way to start a reading passage? If not, it's okay. I understand. No pressure. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think it's going to catch up now. Yeah, it seems to be with YouTube. So hold on, everybody. It started moving and then it stopped again, I think. That's so strange. Okay, Carolina, I'm going to do like a full restart here on the OBS stream. So just give me 2 minutes and then I'll reconnect with you, okay?
Okay.
All right. Oh, there we go. Oh, I think it's going to catch up now. Yeah, that's so strange. Okay, do you see it now?
Yes, I can see it
Yeah,
now.
yeah. So it's YouTube that's having an issue, not my computer this time, thankfully. Okay, so go ahead, Carolina. Read the title.
Okay. The aerial sea is gone. Reasons and impacts.
Okay, great. So you've read the title, and now you want to ask what, why, how, right? So can we do that? So can you ask the question here, the first question, the what question?
What is this title about?
Um, Ask it more specifically about the title. So I would ask something like, what does it mean
Okay.
that the Aral Sea is gone? Okay, so be more specific to the title and then you'll have more clarity. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And we can even go into what does it mean, the reasons and impacts, but let's just kind of take it one step at a time. So what does it mean the Aral Sea is gone?
That in the past there was an aerial sea, and now is we don't have it anymore.
Okay, can you phrase that differently that we don't have it anymore?
Um, it disappeared from the face of the earth, I
Okay,
guess.
yeah. It disappeared, or specifically when you're talking about a body of water, you can say it dried up,
Okay.
right? Okay, good. Go for the next question.
Why?
Full question.
Why this aerial sea disappeared?
Okay, answer.
We don't know that yet.
Just take a guess. What could it be?
Um, Maybe climate change, global warming, um, because the level of the sea rise. I guess. No, I don't know.
Okay. Just keep it more simple, changing geography, right?
Okay.
And when you're thinking about the IELTS, and this is true not just for the reading, but also for the speaking section, always think about grand truths, like the big truths of the existence of the planet. The biggest impacts that change the world these days are either nature, right? So the natural change of our planet, or what's the other big changing factor of the planet these days that changes the world around us? What changes the world around us if it's not nature?
And the human activity.
Exactly, right? So perhaps global warming, changing geography, or people, right? Never forget about people, right? There's 8 billion of us and we're very busy little ants, so we're changing a lot on the planet, right? Okay, and so the last question then that you ask yourself here is
How
full question.
how how did the aerials no
Yeah, yeah, you're on the right
how
track.
how did happen? How did happen? Maybe.
How did the Aral Sea disappear? Yeah. And try to answer it. I know it's getting trickier, right? The more detail you go into, the trickier it becomes, but try to answer it. So how did the Aral Sea disappear?
I believe it was for a combination of the human activities, pollution, or global warming. So, because of the activities of the human, the global warming increased. So, maybe for those reasons, the
Okay, good.
areas disappear.
Yeah, great. All right, excellent. Okay, good. So that's what you want to do in that at the very beginning of a reading passage, and you want to do that quickly, right? So in the actual IELTS, Carolina, you're really only doing this inside of your head. So it's as fast as this. So you go, the Aral Sea is gone, reasons and impacts. What does this mean that the Aral Sea is gone? Well, it means in the past we had this sea somewhere, this big piece of water that obviously must have had lots of life in it, around it, and then it disappeared, it dried up. And now I'm visualizing this too, big piece of water, and then it's shrinking and drying up. And then why did the Aral Sea disappear? Well, could be global warming, changing geography, the rivers aren't going into it, and of course people maybe doing something like building dams, right? When we build those big walls to block water flow, changing the direction of water. And then how did it disappear? It was a combination of probably humans, pollution, global warming. Good. So then that starts to give you an idea of what you might be reading about. So all of the vocabulary in English and other visualization and information that you might need starts to come into your mind for the reading. So that's really good, Carolina. And then what's my next step, Carolina, after I read the title and predict the text or think about the text? What should I do after that?
Look at the what answers contain information about the passage, and I can read it.
Yeah, so look at the questions that are after the passage, especially the ones that are somewhere in the passage that contain information from the passage. You're right. And Carolina, I'm going to ask another volunteer to do that. So thank you so much for
Okay.
volunteering for the title. Okay. And I'll look for another volunteer to read us some questions, okay?
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks, Carolina. Bye.
Get better soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Okay, so Amrit, I can see you there. Would you like to read some questions for us? So, hi, Amrit. Okay, so step one, everybody, read the title. Okay, think about the title. If you don't understand it the first time, read it again. All right, and then think what, why, how. Once you've done that, then look at the questions and read the questions. Okay, Amrit.
Hello,
Hi, Amrit. How are you?
I'm doing great, sir. What about you?
Good, good, Amrit. You're over in India, right?
Yes, I am from Punjab.
From Punjab. Anybody
Yes, sir.
celebrating Easter in Punjab?
Yes, this is one of the festival is now celebrated is Vaisakhi.
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. All right, Amrit, so let's take a look at some questions then. Here we go. So we've read the title. The title's kind of clear now, and now let's look at the questions. I'm switching over there. You'll see it in a few minutes, or a few minutes, few seconds. Okay. All
Okay,
right.
okay, yes.
There we go. We're getting there now. Okay. So here are the first set of questions. Go ahead and read it from the very top, like from the actual question type.
Okay. Subject or comments like
No. Even read it from above that. So read from. You should always look at the. And this is important for everyone. You should always look at the question
okay.
instructions. Yeah.
Choose one word only from the passage from each answer.
Even before
Where
that. Even before that.
actually I'm not understand.
So before the choose one word, there's one more line above that.
Okay, okay. Complete the table below.
Okay, good. Now stop there. So,
Okay.
so complete the table below. So now you know what kind of question you're looking at, right? It's a table question. Okay.
Okay,
So,
sir.
complete the table below. This question, the information that you're going to read, is it all in the passage, or are we going to read some false information like in the true, false, not given? Or is it all in the passage? What do you think?
I think all in the passage.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's why you always want to look at just the title of the question, because then you know what you should read and you shouldn't read, right? So here now you know, okay, it's a complete the table. So this is all in the passage. So I need to read this, or at least skim read this to get an idea of what's going on, right? Okay, now continue reading, Amrit.
Okay. Thought it called a say. The Aral say is. Can you scroll up?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Amrit. Are you still with us, Amrit? Kind of lost you there. Let me see what's going on with you there. I cannot hear your voice, Amrit. We might have lost your internet. Here, let me check. Okay, let me call you back. Let me check with you. I'm just checking if Amrit's still there. We'll give him another chance. Okay. If not, we'll find somebody else to continue in Amrit's steed. It's all good. Yeah, I think we've lost Amrit. That's okay. We've got Divya. So let's see if I can reach out to Divya. No answer from Divya. Okay, let's try Faraz. Okay. All right, members, again, go to the website to volunteer for reading, because I will ask you to help me read. I mean, I can do this if we have to, but I'd rather you do it. So I'd rather keep this as a practice for you. Okay. Amrit, I'm looking also again in the chat system there. So if somebody wants to just join in there. Okay, let me do something here. Okay. All right, so try to join the chat again, guys. I just reloaded that chat to help everybody out, and then hopefully that'll work now. Okay. Meanwhile, I'll read this question out that Amrit started on. So basically what you want to do here is when you get to these questions, okay, here's the subject, here's the comments, okay. The subject is the Aral Sea. So Amrit, I wanted to give you this feedback, and this is for everybody. You want to go step by step. You're always reading from top to bottom, left to right, okay? So read the type of question first. This is complete the table below. Choose one word only from the passage, okay? And then subject, comments, okay? The subject is the Aral Sea, so we know that the answers have to be about the Aral Sea here. Though it is called a sea, the Aral Sea is actually one of the largest something in the world. The body of water was formed when geologic forces affected the flow of two something, the Amu Darya and the Sir Darya. Subject, cotton. Cotton comes from the cotton plant, which can be found in many warmer regions of the world. The oldest evidence of cotton production has been found in. Today, the natural resource cotton production requires more than anything else This has resulted in the depletion of the Aral Sea. Subject, modern day Uzbekistan. Cotton production is ongoing in Uzbekistan and its economy still relies on it. Indeed, cotton production is a part of the something of Uzbekistan. Subject, negative effects. Cotton production has many negative effects on communities, on the environment, and on something of individuals. So here I learned a very, very important piece of information. Let me see if we've got some people back in the chat now. There we go. Okay. And I'll show you how to use these questions effectively.
Hello.
Hi, Amrit.
Yes. Oh, sorry, I think there's some problem with my internet.
Yeah, we lost each other, but that's okay. That happens. I just read the question that I was looking for you to read, but that's okay. I'll give you a chance at another question. Amrit, did you hear me read this question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so when I read this question, we learned at least one really important piece of information from this. What was it? So what did we learn from this question about this reading, The Aral Sea is Gone?
I see that the Aral Sea is actually one of the largest, I think, in the world.
Keep it simple. There's a word that keeps repeating. What's the word that keeps repeating? I think there's like...
Sea.
Mm-hmm.
Sea or Aral.
It is this word here. Let me show you. We can see it so many times in these parts of the question. It's the word cotton. Cotton.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, sir.
So when you read this question, if you're sitting in the IELTS exam, at this point, you should realize that, okay, cotton is a very important part of this information and it has something to do with the sea being gone. Okay. So that's what you should recognize. Even if you don't have perfect English, just by seeing that word repeat so often in all these contexts, you should realize that cotton has some impact or has some reason or some connection for
some
the
connection.
Aral Sea being gone. Okay. All right. And then we have the next question here. Can you read it? Question 20 to 24.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Okay. Reading passage 2 has 7 paragraphs A to G. Which paragraph contain the following information? And write the correct letter in boxes 20 to 24 on your answer sheet. The degree of shrinkage of the Aral Sea in the past. The human suffering from cotton production and the creation of Aral Sea, the development of cotton production in the USSR, the tool that accelerated the need for cotton.
Okay, good. Now, when you see this kind of a question where you have to figure out which paragraph has this information, what's the next step? What should you do with this type of a question?
First of all, paraphrase the question.
Yeah, exactly. So why?
To understand, and even in the passage use some synonyms.
Yeah, exactly. So the passage is probably not going to have the exact same words as this question, right? It's going to have some synonyms. So can you paraphrase this number 20 for me? The degree of shrinkage of the Aral Sea in the past. How could we say that in another way?
The degree, they might use word 60 or 90 or...
some kind of percent, right?
Yep, in percentage or
Yeah, so
in the
instead of
past.
degree, the percentage, right? So keep it simple. So the percentage, yeah. How about shrinkage? When you're paraphrasing too, here's an interesting trick, Amrit. It doesn't have to make sense grammatically when you're paraphrasing. It can just be kind of synonyms that are all stuck together. So the percentage of something. How can you say shrinkage? And other members that are in the chat, if you can help Amrit and give Amrit some synonyms, that would be great. That'd be super helpful. Okay. So what's another way to say shrinkage? Do you know the word shrinkage, Amrit?
Yes, there's something that are under the water, like actually I know the word, but I don't.
Shrink means to become smaller and smaller, right? So
Yes.
the percentage of getting smaller for the sea in the past. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so that's how you can do that for sure. Okay. All right.
And in the past they are used they were like history or something other word like.
Yeah, it could be something like in history or 100 years ago. So it could be something like that for sure. Okay. All right. Go for the next one. So the human suffering from cotton production.
The individuals have faced some problems of lack of cotton production.
Individuals face problems because
Of lack of
the cotton industry. There's no lack of there. Okay. So cotton industry. So careful not to add information. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. The creation of the Aral Sea. Try to paraphrase that one for me, please.
The
Keep it simple.
produce of Aral Sea.
Almost. I'll help you a bit. How about the origin? Or the formation of the Aral Sea. Okay, so how it came into existence, right? Okay. And the next one, the development of cotton production in the USSR.
The originator of cotton production.
How else can you say cotton production?
Manufacture.
Yeah, manufacturing or making, right? Or growing cotton. How else can you say USSR?
Actually, I'm not now the word full form of USSR.
Soviet Union, right? The Soviet Union, USSR, the former United Socialist Soviet Republic, Soviet Union. Okay, the big superpower that used to be in the Cold War with the US, right? Okay, and the tool that accelerated the need for cotton. What's another way to say tool?
A gadget that
Instead of tool, you can use the word equipment,
equipment.
right? Or there's another word that you could use instead of equipment. It starts with an I, I-N-S. Instrument.
So instrument.
Yeah, or Cass in the chat is saying the machinery, right?
Yes.
What's another way to say accelerated?
Using our
When you think of accelerate, think of like a car or a train. The machinery instrument that speeds
engine.
up. Speeds up. Accelerate means to go faster,
Yeah.
to speed up.
Like boost up. Yeah.
Speed up the demand for cotton. Okay. All right, and then we have some more questions here. Questions 25 to 26. What are these?
Yes, no, not given.
Should I read these before the passage?
No, because it's like confusing.
Yeah, if it's not given or if it's false, then it's completely useless, right? There's no point even to read them. It's not even just that they're confusing, but there's absolutely no point. It would just be a waste of time, right? We have no value in it. Okay, Amrit. So in a nutshell, right, this happens very quickly. You should only be spending about maybe 1 minute to do this. Okay. So
Yes,
you
sir.
read. This is a very important one here, the table, because that's got a lot of good information for us to understand the passage. And then we read through, we kind of paraphrase these in our mind, get some other ideas, and then we're ready to read. Okay, so then we go back to the passage and then we read, right? So always go from the top again and read the title. So read the title for me, Amrit.
Okay, sir. The Aral say is gone, reasons and impacts.
Awesome. So now we're going to read the passage. And Amrit, I'm going to get another volunteer for us to start reading body paragraph 1. So thank you so much for volunteering. Hang in there. And Amrit, practice your paraphrasing, okay? I know you have a lot of words in your head. I can feel it. So you need to be able to use
Yes,
them,
sir.
right? So you want to be able to use
sir.
them, okay? So
Okay, sir.
practice.
Thank you so much, sir,
Bye,
for
Amrit.
giving me a nice chance. Bye, sir.
Okay, so let's take another volunteer to start reading. I'm back in the chat here. I can see we've got Resh and Tatiana and Paras. I'm looking specifically for members first and foremost because this is a members chat class. So for those of you who are on the website, again, go to aehelp.com. Click on Student Partner Speaking, and now you will be able to volunteer to read. So we're going to read the passage and do it together. Saeed, I can see that you got your results while we wait for some volunteers. Saeed, how did you do on your IELTS exam? How did it go? What was your band score? Do share. I'm dying to know. Okay. All right. Meanwhile, I'll see if somebody wants to volunteer to read. Resh, looks like Resh. Okay. All right. Would you like to read the first paragraph? The first couple, maybe even. Saeed, 7.5. How is your speaking? .5 is really good, by the way. All right. Students, if you're not able to chat, just refresh the page, okay? So refresh the live speaking page, and we'll see what's going on there. But let's see, because I don't see any messages. I can read, but I'd rather you read, okay? So let's see if we have a couple of brave souls out there, all right? All right. If we don't get any reading volunteers, then I'm going to do some reading. You have to practice reading. So not good on the writing and the reading side. I'm sorry to hear that. It's the two sides of the same coin, so that's where you have to invest your time. All right. Okay, students. Well, I'm going to do a bit of reading if we're not getting... Okay, Carolina, I think, is maybe wanting to volunteer to read. Okay, sure. All right, Carolina. Well, now we're getting some volunteers. Hi, Carolina.
Hi, Adrian. Hi again.
Hi again. Thank you for volunteering to read. Reading is really good. People need to do it more. So I'm glad that you came. I'm glad that you came back and decided to read for us. Okay, let's get into it. So, whenever you're ready, go ahead and read paragraph A.
There you go. A century ago, the Aral Sea was the fourth largest lake on Earth, with water sourced from two rivers, the Emu Daria River and the Sir Daria River. The lake was a bountiful fishing source for lakeside communities throughout history. In the 20th century, this changed dramatically. With the rise of the Soviet Union and the demand for cotton, which grew easily in the surrounded area, the Aral Sea, technically a lake, began to shrink. Today, there is almost no water left. It truly is one of the planet's worst environmental disasters.
Okay, awesome, Carolina. Good, good. So in the IELTS, when you're reading names like Amudarya and Sir Daria, don't get stuck on those. Just read them however you can, okay? At home, when you're practicing, you definitely want to highlight words that may be new to you so you can learn them. Hear the word bountiful. Do you know what that means, bountiful?
And no, I don't know, but I can guess that is something full, a bunch maybe.
Yeah, a bunch, full. Good guess. Yeah, a very close synonym is plentiful. Okay, so plentiful means has a lot. Okay, so the lake was a bountiful fishing source. It means that it had a lot of fish for people to eat. Okay, all right. So that's what you want to do. So you want to kind of highlight these. All right. So what is this paragraph about, Carolina? This introduction. What is it telling us? What's the kind of the main idea here?
This paragraph introduces the idea how the Aral Sea was before. It was a good source for fishing, but nowadays, after the 20th century, it become to reduce, and now is almost gone.
Yeah, and so to be more concise, the Aral Sea was the fourth largest lake in the world, and now it's gone, and it's a disaster. Right? So
Yeah,
we can keep it
you did
simple.
it better for sure.
I'm just simplifying it. Always pay attention to those really dramatic pieces of information, and the very dramatic piece of information is that it's the fourth largest lake, but that fourth largest lake is no longer on our planet. So that's very dramatic, especially if I visualize it, right? So imagine a lake that is so big you can clearly see it from space, and now instead of a lake, there's desert or sand or something there, right? So it's very dramatic. Okay, great. Thank you, Carolina. I'm going to check to see. I think I heard a couple of beeps, so I think we've got some more people ready to volunteer now. And thanks again for reading. And then keep reading, Carolina. Lots of reading every day, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, okay. Bye, Carolina. All right. So thank you, Carolina. Thumbs up. Guys, girls, you can give her a thumbs up. Let's see if we have somebody else. Tatiana's in here. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, no worries, Tatiana. I hear you. Okay, are you ready? Let's get Tatiana reading a little bit here as well. Okay. right. Cool. Hi, Tatiana.
Hi, I'm glad to know that you are getting better.
Yeah, me too, for sure. I would not be happy if I was still getting worse, especially, I have two little children. I have a 8-month-old and a 5-year-old, so it's a lot of demand on energy as well. Okay, Tatiana, so I'll get you to read a couple of paragraphs here for us, okay? But I'll stop you after each one, just to reflect on what you're reading. So you'll see the paragraph B come up here in a second, and whenever you're ready, go ahead and read it.
I'm ready. Is it Oral Sea?
Yeah, I think you're right. The pronunciation is the Aral Sea.
The Oral Sea is located between Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, two former Soviet republics. It was formed over 5 million years ago when geologic forces prevented the two rivers' water from reaching their final destination. These forces created a lake with an area of 68,000 square kilometers, a body of water that was full of fish for the neighboring communities. 200,000 generations relied on this fish to sustain themselves and trade with nearby groups. It wasn't until the mid-20th century that the situation changed. And when it began to change, it would not be long until all the water was gone and the local economies were ruined.
Okay, so what is this paragraph about?
It's about the origin of the lake, how it was formed.
Yeah. The origin of the lake and then its final demise, or its end, if you will, right?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Yeah. Paragraph C, go ahead whenever you're ready.
I'm ready. The cotton fabric. A bit lower, please.
Sorry. Okay, there. There you go. That should be better. It's coming. Just give it a second. I think we've got about 6 seconds. There we go.
It's there. The cotton, is it fabric or fabric? I can't remember. Fabric.
The cotton fabric.
Fabric, which makes up much of modern clothing, comes from the cotton plant, which is native to tropical and subtropical regions worldwide, from the Americas to Africa and India and Australia. It has been processed by humans since antiquity. There is evidence of cotton production dating back 8,000 years in Peru. However, the invention of the cotton gin by Eli Whitney in 1794 transformed both the production of cotton and its environmental impact.
Okay, what is this paragraph about?
The paragraph is about two products made of cotton.
Okay,
fabric
good.
And gin.
All right, good. So far, Tatiana, we've looked at paragraph A, B, and C. Carolina looked at A, you've read B and C for us. Now, as you're doing the IELTS, or as you're doing this kind of a reading exam, you need to be not only thinking about what each paragraph is about, but you want to catalog that kind of key information in your head as you're moving along. So can you summarize the 3 paragraphs in order in a simple way?
Paragraph A was about the oral sea used to be the oral about how the Oral Sea was the fourth biggest lake in the world, and then it disappeared. The paragraph B was about the origin of the Oral Sea, how it appeared. And in paragraph C was about two products which are made of cotton, gin and fabric and gin.
Okay, tricky. Gin here is not the alcohol gin that you're thinking about. The cotton gin here is actually a machine that's used to spin cotton. So it's a little bit different. But more importantly, paragraph C, simply put, is about the...
transform the production, of course.
Exactly. So the production of cotton, the importance of the production of cotton for humanity, right? And it's more and more important for humanity. Okay?
So it's about one product, probably.
Yeah, it's about cotton, right? So paragraph C is simply the importance of cotton production. So, okay, good, Tatiana. So keep that in mind, right? And this is for everybody. So this is what you want to practice at home, is when you're going through these, you kind of summarize each paragraph as you read through it, and then you keep that order in your mind, because that's going to help you to really quickly and accurately answer questions when you get to the questions, okay?
Summarize the meaning of the paragraph in short, and keep in mind the order.
Exactly. And you want to visualize that order, right? So right now what I would do is I would visualize a giant lake for part A, and then for part B, I would visualize rivers flowing into that lake to make it. And then for part C, I would imagine all these little cotton plants popping up around the lake. And that's how I would keep that visual sequencing in my head. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome, Tatiana. Thank you for that. Let's see if we can get somebody else for the next paragraph.
Okay.
Here we go.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. So you can give Tatiana a thumbs up, everybody. That was fantastic. That was great of her. Okay, anybody else? Celine. All right, now we've got some volunteers. Yes, Celine, are you ready? All right, it took a little while, but we've got some brave souls now. All right, Celine, let's do this. Yeah, we want to get to some questions as well, everyone. So let's do it. Celine, are you there? Cass, thank you for the thumbs up. That's great. All right. Not really getting a response from Celine. Divya, maybe again. Are you there, Divya? Oh, Celine, you are there. Okay, let's go with Celine, and then Divya, you'll be after. If you're there. Okay. Oh, that was weird, Celine. You got disconnected as soon as you picked up. Not sure what's happening there. Yeah, I'm guessing that the internet's pretty intense for all of you as well. So let me try to call you again, Celine. Because you're using multiple website interactions here as well. So we're really pushing the limits of today's technology. Something's not working there, Celine, so we'll leave that for now. Okay, let's see what's going on with Divya. All right, let's give Divya a call. Ooh, Divya.
Hello?
Hi, Divya.
Good evening, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm getting better and stronger each day, so I'm recovering from this bad
That's
flu.
great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. And has your weekend started for you, Divya?
No, I'm into nursing field, so tomorrow also we have to work.
Oh, okay. So more work ahead. All right.
Yes, sir.
Well, I am happy for the medical profession especially right now that I'm not feeling so well. I appreciate you so much more. All right, Divya.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Whenever you're ready, go ahead and start reading paragraph D, please.
Yes, sir. Shall I start?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cotton production in the 20th century was fine-tuned. That is, it had been improved over time to optimize its output. What was not taken into account, however, was its environmental impact. In the 1940s, the USSR experienced a massive drought. There was no water for crops, and thus many people starved to death. Joseph Stalin, the dictator of the country, directed a great plan for the transformation of nature, the goal of which was to improve the agricultural output of the nation. One part of this plan involved transforming the lands of the Uzbek SSR, modern Uzbekistan, into cotton crops. This was not a bad idea at first thought. The Uzbek lakeside lands were suitable for the cultivation of the crop. The Soviets irrigated, provided water for the crops by exploiting the natural water flow in the area. The Amur Darya and Sayar Darya rivers. This system was stable for about 20 years until the Soviet government decided to expand the irrigation system to increase production in the 1960s. This required more water. Water has to come from somewhere, and in this case, the water came from the two rivers. Because the water from the two rivers was also the source of the Aral Sea, it began to shrink.
Okay. What is this paragraph about, Divya?
This paragraph is talking about the availability of water, how the process of getting water to the Aral Sea
What is all that water needed for?
for cultivation of the crops.
Yeah, especially which crop?
Cotton.
Cotton. That's right. So cotton needs a lot of water. That cotton is being grown from the water that's for the Aral Sea. So the Aral Sea is shrinking, right? It's becoming smaller. So now I'm visualizing all of that cotton that's around the sea growing, but the sea's getting smaller and smaller. So that big fourth largest lake in the world that I saw before in my head in paragraph A, it's shrinking, and the cotton around it is growing and growing, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, Divya, keep going. Read paragraph E for us.
Starting in the 1960s, the Aral Sea shrank by 50 to 100 centimeters per year. By 1987, the lake had dried so much that it had been divided into two, the large Aral in the south and the small Aral in the north. This was an environmental disaster. So, can you please move it up? I
Mm-hmm.
can't see. Yeah, thank you. The separation of the lake changed the salt levels in each lake, which resulted in wildlife deaths as well as increased evaporation levels, water loss. By 2002, the southern lake had completely evaporated, and by 2014, all the water was gone. What was left was called Aralcum, a desert.
Ooh, so what's going on here?
The process how Aral Sea has been evaporated.
Very nice. Perfectly summarized. That was exactly it. So the process by how the Aral Sea basically evaporated, right? Scientifically speaking.
Yeah.
Okay, good. You're doing a great job. Let's do one more. F. Go for it.
Yes. This desert is not just an interesting artifact of the human impact on the earth. Instead, the desert is a disease-riddled black hole whose dust blows through the region regularly, spreading illness and dangerous chemicals. For example, the USSR once operated a biological weapons facility in the lake, and now the chemical byproducts of the testing are open to the air and affect neighboring communities. As there is no water, there is also no fish, and this is catastrophic for the once lakeside communities. Not only have they lost a source of food, they have also lost a key industry. Today, the people of the region suffer from a poor economy, high levels of poverty, toxic drinking water, and a scarcity of resources.
Okay, what is this paragraph about?
Impact of viral sea evaporation on the individuals and society.
I think there's a simpler way to kind of summarize this.
Problems of Aral sea evaporation.
Yeah, the pollution and the problems for humanity for the Aral Sea being evaporated, right? Exactly. Okay, that was really
Yes.
good. All right, Divya, that's some great reading and some nice summarizing of the paragraphs. That's exactly what you want to do. Divya, have you done the IELTS already?
No, sir, I have to sit. Next month I'm planning.
Okay, I think you're going to do a great job. I'm very curious what your score is going to be, but you're definitely on the right path, okay? So keep going in this way. This is what you want to practice. Thank you so much for volunteering to read those 3 paragraphs, okay? We'll find somebody for the last one. Okay, thank you. Bye, Divya.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
All right, that was Divya. Let's see if we can find someone else for our final paragraph here. We have Mucky. Mucky says, I want to be a volunteer. Okay, Mucky, are you ready? Let's try to reach out to Mucky. I'm not sure who that is. I'm always looking for our members, of course, here. So, and I did promise somebody, I can't remember who it was a second ago, that I would look for them again. Okay. So, Mucky, if you're there, you can read the final paragraph, the conclusion. All right. Mucky, I can hear that you picked up, but I don't hear any sound. So I'm wondering if you maybe don't have your microphone enabled with the website, or if it's a device connection issue. I'm not sure. Mucky, try it out or check it out with another person and then try to call back, okay? All right. Let's see. Was it Anar? Are you ready? Okay, we will get to these questions, students. We've got 20 minutes to do the questions, so no worries there. Okay, we'll get going. I think Anara's not there. All right. Well, while I wait for some pings, I will then read the conclusion and we'll get into these answers, okay? So, here we go. Paragraph G, and there's usually no more than that many paragraphs to an IELTS reading. So here we go, everybody. I will read paragraph G for us, and then we'll look at some questions, and I'll get everybody's help in the chat to answer these questions as well. So here we go. Let me do this. I'll finish this up for us. So cotton still grows in Uzbekistan. Indeed, the cotton harvest holds a special place in Uzbek culture, with the country coming together each year to take hold of the valuable crop and bring it to market. In a way, it is as if the Soviet ways still hold sway. The Uzbek economy relies on cotton production with little regard for its environmental, social, and health impacts. In this sense, the destruction of the Aral Sea is a small-scale example of the environmental damage and exploitation we have brought upon the planet as a whole. It is too late for the Aral Sea, but is it too late for Earth? What is this paragraph about? This paragraph is about a lack of concern for the significance of the disappearance of the Aral Sea. So even though the Aral Sea is gone, we as humanity haven't really panicked. We're like, oh, the 4th largest lake is gone. Whatever, it happens. We grow cotton. Let's keep doing it. Okay, so that's kind of this final paragraph here. Okay, let's answer some of these questions. So we're going to come back to the questions now here. Completing the table below. Choose only one word, so one single word from the passage. And now that we have a clear understanding of this passage about the Aral Sea, the origin, the importance of the Aral Sea, the reason why the Aral Sea has disappeared, the negative impacts of this disappearance, we should be able to answer these questions quite quickly. So here we go. The subject again is the Aral Sea, and then here are the comments in the table. Okay. So though it is called a sea, the Aral Sea is actually one of the largest something in the world. What's the correct answer here? And I think everybody should get this one right. It's a fairly easy answer coming from paragraph A. It's not one of the largest, but it's the fourth largest. Remember that. So what is it? It's the fourth largest what in the world? It's one of the largest. It has to be a noun, not an adjective here, Pooja. So fourth is not the correct answer. Okay, what is the correct answer? Excuse me. It's the fourth largest. In the beginning here, you can see it says, though it is called a sea. When you see that, especially look at the word though. Though here is like although. It's showing opposition. Okay. So Selena says the correct answer here should be lake. Yeah, so lake is the right answer. Okay. So it's the fourth largest lake in the world, right? The body of water was formed when geologic forces affected the flow of two something, the Amu Darya and the Sir Darya. Again, this should be easy. It's a noun. Flow means the movement of yeah, and Carolina says, I think it's lakes, and Amu says, yeah, and it is lakes. So very nice. In that previous answer, it's lakes. It's not just lake. Okay. It's not just lake, it's lakes. And the S is very important because it's one of the largest lakes in the world. It's always one of many. Okay. So one of many, you need the plural lakes. Thank you for that emphasis. Okay. Just like the next one is also plural because there's two. And Panda Bear says that is rivers. Okay, so the answer there is rivers. Very good, Amir. That's great. Okay. All right, so lakes and rivers, those are the first two answers for 14 and 15, and plurals for both of them. So that was my mistake not to make that a plural on number 14. Be very careful with that. Okay. All right, now we go to the next one, 16 and 17. The subject is cotton. Okay, so cotton comes from the cotton plant, which can be found in many warmer regions of the world. The oldest evidence of cotton production has been found in something. So it's location. Now, I don't remember the place, right? Because I don't recall all of the information from the passage. I don't memorize it. So, but I do know which paragraph it's coming from. Which paragraph will I find the answer for question 16? And I know this because I was visualizing and because I was keeping an order in my head of paragraph A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So where does the answer come for 16? And you should know this, okay? Now, I'll show you an interesting little trick here in a second if you can't remember this. Okay, but you should. So which paragraph? I'm looking at the comments here, students. Which paragraph can I find the answer for question 16? When does I guess another way I can say this is, when does the passage start talking about cotton production, the importance of cotton production for humans? So Amrit says C, very nice. Amu says Peru, Carolina says Peru. But Amrit says C, yeah, because I remember that in paragraph C, if I go back to paragraph C, that's where it introduced the importance of cotton for humanity, right? So the cotton fabric, this was the one that Tatiana read, I believe, which makes up much of modern clothing, comes from the cotton plant, which is native to tropical, subtropical regions, from the Americas to Africa, India, Australia. It has been processed by humans since antiquity. There's evidence of cotton production dating back 8,000 years in Peru. So we know that it's Peru, and you can check the spelling there as well, right? Very nice. So cotton production from Peru. Now, if you're having a bit of difficulty with these questions, what you could do is, instead of answering these questions first, you could actually answer this question first. Okay, so the matching the paragraph question. Why? Why is it a good idea to answer matching paragraphs before answering these questions or these questions? What do you think? So why is that a good strategy? If you have this matching the paragraph to the right sentence, why is that good? Because then you know where information is located. Okay, so it's a good idea to do this first. All right. Yeah, exactly, Carolina. So if you do this one first, then you'll know where the information is located, and then it'll be that much faster. Absolutely. So the degree of shrinkage of the Aral Sea in the past, Amrit, you said that this could be like the percentage of the getting smaller of the lake in the past. Okay. Which paragraph had that? So which paragraph has this information, the degree of shrinkage? And actually remember what that is. Yeah, hopefully you do too. Okay. It's the one where it was talking about the Aral Sea shrinking a certain number of centimeters per year, right? Carolina believes that was paragraph E. I believe you're close, Carolina. We can check it out. Okay. So here it says, starting in the 1960s, the Aral Sea shrank by 50 to 100 centimeters per year. Absolutely. So 20 is E. Good job, Carolina. Hopefully others got that as well. Okay, so E. All right, let's take a look at 21. Human suffering from cotton production. So less fish. Divya read this one, I remember. So human suffering, pollution, biological weapon, disease in the area. What was that? just had to clear my throat there. Thanks for your patience. Okay. Carolina figures F. Amu figures E. So the C is gone. It makes logical sense, right? The Aral Sea is gone. What happens after the Aral Sea is gone? I think F makes sense. That's what I visualized. This desert is not just an interesting artifact of the human impact on Earth. Instead, the desert is disease-riddled black hole. Right? So no drinking water, no fishing. So F, yeah. Okay. F is the correct answer. All right, this should be a very quick one. The creation of the Aral Sea. Okay, so the good news is when you're doing a good job with matching information to paragraphs, as soon as you start to get them correct, the more you get correct, the faster you will be able to answer the next questions, okay? So the creation of the Aral Sea, excuse me, C should be, right? Remember Tatiana said, oh, it's the way the Aral Sea got created, the origin, right? Or is it B? C or B? Let's go check. Okay. The Aral Sea is located between Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, the two former republics. It was formed over 5 million years ago. So yeah. So here, the key word is formed. Formation, creation, and the origin. So B is correct. Very nice. Good job, Panda Bear and Pooja. Very nice. B it is. Okay. Yeah, and see here in the paraphrase, when we were talking with Amrit, we said formation. Okay. So number 23, the development of cotton production in the USSR. Which one was that? So that was probably coming after. C was the importance of cotton. So maybe paragraph D, that would be my best guess for 23. And I can quickly check. So I'm not just searching or skimming and scanning, but I'm using logic to give me an idea. Cotton production in the 20th century was fine-tuned. Here I can see USSR. What was not taken into account, however, was its environmental impact. In the 1940s, USSR experienced a massive drought. There was no water. So the Soviets used the Amudarya and the Sirdarya rivers for cotton production. So D is good. Okay. And the tool that accelerated the need for cotton, that was the cotton gin, right? So now I can do a skim or a scan for cotton gin. So I'm not just kind of blindly looking for information, but I'm looking specifically for cotton gin. And I believe the cotton gin was also in paragraph C, right? At the end. I think Tatiana was asking about that. Cotton gin. There it is. I found that pretty quick because I remember it was beside this guy's name, Eli Whitney. So there's Eli Whitney. Okay, so Eli Whitney, cotton gin, paragraph C. So C is the correct answer there. Now, pay attention, students, because for these matching paragraphs, you can have the same answer more than once. So here we have the answers E, F, B, D, and C. Those are the correct answers. Okay. Now we can go back and answer these. Let's try these a little bit more. So cotton, cotton comes from the cotton plant, which can be found in many warmer regions of the world. The oldest evidence of cotton production has been found in Peru. Today, the natural resource cotton production requires more than anything else is, and I bet we can answer this really quickly now, especially because we learned so much about cotton production and what cotton production needs. What does cotton need more than anything else in this world? I think a lot of us need, I need this more than anything else right now to help me get better as well. Okay. Carolina seems to think it's water. Anybody else agree that it's water? I agree. It's water. Yep, Amrita agrees. Water. And I am using all capital letters, students. It's okay to do that in the IELTS exam, so I'm using all caps lock today. Okay, modern day Uzbekistan. Cotton production is ongoing in Uzbekistan and its economy still relies on it. Indeed, cotton production is part of the something of Uzbekistan. This should be, again, a fairly easy answer now that we've read this. It's coming from the last paragraph, from paragraph G. And it was very clear that for Uzbekistan, this is very important. The correct answer here is culture. Yeah, the culture of Uzbekistan. Absolutely. Okay. All right. And then we have one more, negative effects. Cotton production has many negative effects on communities, on the environment, and on the something of individuals. On the what? So there's that one paragraph that says that cotton production has done this to individuals. What has it affected? So it affected communities, so no more fishing, the environment, the land is becoming dry. And what's happening to people? Carolina says lives, but lives is not correct here. Sometimes it seems really simple, but you have to be careful. Okay, if I'm not 100% sure, it's worth checking. Okay, so I know that this one is coming from this part here, KF. And so the dust blows through the region. So the cotton production is sucking up all the water. People don't have water. There's illness spreading. So it has a negative impact on, more specifically, not just the lives of people, but the think about the word illness here. The health of people, of individuals, sorry. Okay. So their health is being affected by it. They're not as healthy. Okay, health of individuals. It's a tricky one. Sometimes they're tricky, so be really careful. The health of individuals. Okay. All right. So we've got a couple more questions here, and I want to get through to the end, even though my voice is getting a bit weird. through the end. Here we go. So yes, no, not given. Yes, if it agrees with the writer. No, if it contradicts the writer. Not given if we don't know. Okay. All right, number 25. The well-being of Uzbek people has been jeopardized by cotton production. So this should be pretty easy based on that last question that we just discussed. Is it important for this writing? Yes, because cotton is a big part of it. Uzbekistan and the people of Uzbekistan is a big part of it. So it's definitely important. It's definitely going to be given. Is the well-being of Uzbek people jeopardized around the Aral Lake because of cotton production? So has this created health concerns or health problems for the people there? And I really, really hope that you get the answer yes for that. Okay. And then we have one more here. The Uzbek people must improve their environmental regulations. I don't want to give you the answer for this last one. So what do you think? Give me the answer. The Uzbek people must improve their environmental regulations. Last one. I'd love to see an answer from everybody. So Panda Bears, Pooja, Amu, Amrit. I would love to see this one answered here. This last one, 26. The Uzbek people must improve their environmental regulations. What do you think? It's kind of a tricky one. That's why I'm asking. I see a lot of yeses. And the answer for this one is not given. Never answer these questions based on your own opinion. Yeah, they probably should improve their environmental regulations. After reading this passage, I think we would all believe that, but they don't talk about that. Okay, the passage doesn't actually say they need to have new environmental regulations or any kind of. The passage doesn't actually talk about solutions. The passage just discusses this situation and the problem. So be really careful. One of the easiest ways to make mistakes on true, false, not given, or yes, no, not given is to include your personal ideas or your personal opinions based on what you're reading. And they always catch students on that, okay? So be really careful with this, this last point here. So never answer these based on your personal opinion. This passage does not talk about solutions to this situation of the Aral Sea, okay? All right, everybody. So that's it for this reading passage, but I'll be back with speaking part 2. Where all of our subscribers will be able to join the class. Remember, students, to visit us at aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gltshelp.com for general IELTS. Special thank you to Carolina, Amrit, Divya, and Tatiana for helping me read today. Saved my voice a little bit for the next class. It's great. I'm gonna go drink a warm tea and get my voice back a bit. Do the same maybe. Have a cup of tea or go stretch your legs. Come back in 30 minutes and I will be back with speaking part 2 where all of our subscribers will be able to join the chat and review this reading class and read lots. I'm Adrian. I'll be back in half an hour. Bye for now.